Welcome everybody to the fall 2019 semester. Welcome to Operations Management. My name is Professor Sarah Bonzo. I'm really looking to working with you all throughout the course of the semester. And to get us started, I just wanted to do a quick video to walk you through the syllabus and let you know a little bit about myself and my expectations for the class. Hopefully it's going to be fun. This class is interesting. So there are two sections here. So we've got a number of MBA students. We also have some undergraduate students. So the course is going to look and feel the same depending on which section you're in. The differences in terms of my grading and expectations are really going to come with the final course project, and also there's going to be this kind of application component where each week with the homework I'm going to be asking you an open-ended question. You're going to have team members. You're going to be focusing on a singular organization and trying to apply the techniques and the concepts that we're talking about each week to the organization that you're analyzing. And so the way I want you to approach this is to think about yourself as a consultant. Try to really think critically about how these concepts apply and what they might want to consider doing differently to help their operations. So that's really your responses to those homework questions, and also the final class presentation is where we're going to see the difference between the graduate and undergraduate sections. And so as we form teams in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to make sure to have grad students with grad students, undergrads with undergrads. I'll be pinging you via email too to let me know if there's somebody that you would prefer to work with. I'll do my best to accommodate all of your requests. So to get started with the syllabus, you have this all. Please make sure to download it and go through it in Blackboard. This really is your best bet if you're kind of worried about getting off course. All of the due dates are in here, everything that we're going to cover. So please make sure that you're familiar with it. I am located here in Rich Hall. My office is office number 250. I am going to be on campus every Tuesday, Thursday. I have a classroom section that I teach. My office hours are from 10:30 to 12:30. And then I'm usually here on Mondays, not all Mondays, but typically we have faculty meetings on Mondays, so you can find me here then as well. For those of you that are not close to campus, you are welcome to use You Can Book Me. So the link is right here in the syllabus. Click on that. I have Zoom office hours. If you haven't used Zoom, we're going to be using it in this class. It's what I'm using right now to record this video and to share my screen. It's super easy to use. A lot of organizations are using it as their preferred platform for remote meetings. So it's good just to have the experience with it. You can set up time with You Can Book Me, and if you have any questions at all, I'm happy at any point to just walk through problems with you via Zoom. It's really easy, and it seems to work just as well as if you were sitting in my office here with me. Actually, sometimes it's better because I can pull stuff up on my screen and kind of walk you through it that way. So obviously this is an online course, so there are no required synchronous components to it. I would love for each of you to come into either my office hours or schedule time with me to meet via Zoom, just so I can see your face. It really does help me get a better understanding of who you are, where you work, where you want to work, and that kind of gives me a better picture of how I can support you as you work through the class, and then also beyond that in terms of completing your degree. Along those lines, since we are in an online class, what I'd like for you to do is if you can, in the settings in Blackboard, you can go in and actually update your profile picture. Instead of just having the anonymous picture next to your name when you post discussions, I'd love if you could have a picture of yourself. Again, it helps me remember who you are, your background, if we've met, and if we're corresponding via email. Again, it just kind of creates some more personalization in an online community. In terms of when I'm going to be going into the course, I pretty much log into Blackboard every day. So you'll see me in there. In terms of turning around assignments and getting grades back to you, so the way I have homework assignments set up is there is a hard and fast deadline. So please make sure that you look at those deadlines, because once the deadline is passed, so for this class, all of the deadlines are at midnight on Monday. I find that with online classes, and especially for those of you in the graduate program who are working, a lot of you like to have the weekend to kind of work on some of the content if you're working throughout the week. It also gives you Monday, just in the event that you were doing something over the weekend, it still gives you a day to get all your materials submitted. Make sure you submit everything by that midnight due date on Monday, because as soon as that due date hits, all of the answers are going to be available to you. So if you just forget and you submit late, I won't accept it because you will have all of the answers at your disposal. If you run into a situation or if you know that you're going to have trouble meeting the deadline, please let me know in advance and I'll work with you one-on-one to find an alternative. So in the syllabus, you've got the course description, the prereqs, those are all pretty straightforward. There will be some quantitative pieces in this class where we will use some of the basic stats using the normal distribution and the z-table. We're going to see that a couple times during the semester. If that doesn't ring a bell to you now, don't worry. As long as you've taken these courses, it should come back to you, and I'll do my best to refresh the content as we go through it as well. We've got course objectives in here. Here is the meat. This is what I really want you to focus on, is the course schedule. So each week, essentially, we will be reviewing a different topic. So the first week is really just a general overview and an introduction to what is operations management. And then each week moving forward, we'll go into, week 2, next week will be operations and strategy. The third week, project management. The fourth week, forecasting. And then in the end of September, starting on September 23rd, there'll be an exam open to you on those first 4 chapters, and they correspond with the first 4 chapters in the book. The way the exam will be structured is that you have 2 hours to complete the exam. It is timed. You can do it on your own. Make sure that it'll be open to take any time during that week. And when you're ready, when you're sure you've got some alone time and you won't be disturbed, sit down. You've got 2 hours to take it, and you can use all of your materials, all of the PowerPoints and course content that you'd like. You just have to do it independently. So if you have questions, I'll explain more when we get to that point. But I've got a lot of content built into Blackboard. So you'll see my own personal videos, walking through my PowerPoint slides that I usually give in class. I'll pull in some different content, but all of the content aligns with the chapters in the textbook. So the textbook is really important for this class. Now, if you get the newest edition, it is just unrealistically expensive. So I don't use any of the homework questions from the textbook, so I would really encourage you all to just get a later edition. You can get it on Amazon or Chegg. You can either purchase a copy of the textbook or rent it. It's really affordable. If you rent, it's I think like $15 for the semester. And you can get older versions of the text too if you actually want a physical copy to keep. I think it's still pretty affordable. So if you have questions, let me know. But please make sure if you haven't ordered it already to go on and order that. Again, you're going to see all of the content and the due dates. So for each section, we're going to say, okay, starting Monday, September 30th, we're going to be focusing on design of goods and services, right? So make sure to review the content in Blackboard, review chapter 5 in the textbook, and then you'll see that the assignment that corresponds to this content is going to be due the following Monday, October 7th at midnight. Again, then you're going to have an exam on chapters 5 through 8. And again, at the end, there's going to be a final team presentation that is going to be on the organization of your choosing. And what I've tried to do over the past couple of years, because I got feedback from students that said, instead of leaving all of the preparation for the final course project until the very end, it'd be great if we could be practicing on it throughout the course of the semester. So that's what I've done, is I've tried to each week, in addition to testing your understanding of the homework concepts and some of the different formulas, I'll always include in there a discussion post that says, okay, think about how, ask these questions of your organization. How can or should they be thinking about doing something differently? And not everybody from the team needs to respond to it. What I'll be looking for in the discussion board, and you can coordinate this amongst yourselves, is that just one person from the group needs to post for the discussion board each week. So you'll see it's pretty straightforward, but if you have questions as you get started, please let me know. The final exam will be comprehensive, so while exam 1 and 2 are focused on that content exam, the final exam will review all of the course content. The means of evaluation, again, we're going to have assignments, we're going to have 3 exams, and we're going to have a final class presentation on your organization of your choosing. There's more information in Blackboard. There's a folder dedicated to the final class presentation. Again, we'll get into some of those details as it gets a little bit closer. Again, order the textbook if you can, sooner rather than later. Late policy I'm pretty strict on. for the reasons I've already stated, because those answers will be given to you. One thing I didn't mention about the homeworks. So I'm a firm believer in the growth mindset. I don't want to just have these high stakes tests, right, where you get something wrong and all of a sudden your grade is docked because you didn't get it. So for all of the homeworks, you'll have 2 attempts. So if you go through and you finish your homework and it'll give you feedback. It won't give you feedback in terms of what the right answers are, but it will let you know if you've submitted something and it's incorrect. If you do that and you go through and you still can't figure out why you're getting the wrong answer, reach out to me, work with one another, work with your teammates. I certainly encourage you to all work together and to collaborate, especially on the homework. So that hopefully if you get it wrong the first time, that's only going to help you to learn the content better, understand where you went wrong, and to work with others to figure it out. And I'm always here as a resource to help you do that as well. So again, just some, if you've got questions, if you have a disability, right, there's all kinds. Make sure that you send me a form if you need to do so. Intellectual integrity, this is really big for me, especially in an online course. I will be setting up the exams so that all of the test questions are random, so you couldn't literally be sitting next to somebody and be trying to cheat. I try to make that as difficult as possible, but I still haven't had instances where it does happen. And I can tell because I do have a lot of open-ended questions, and sometimes if you go down one path, it's very clear. So please don't do that. Collaborate on the homeworks, not on the exams. If you have questions, please let me know. Again, I look forward to working with you all throughout the semester, and hopefully for those of you that are on campus, you'll stop by here in 250 and say hello. For those of you that are online and probably somewhere else across the state, please go to my You Can Book Me link and set up some time, even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes, just so that we can say hello and get to know each other a little bit better. All right, welcome to our first week of operations management.